Welcome to the tutorial on VetAssess, the assessment tool by which all vocational teachers can manage their delivery and assessments for any training package qualification. VetAssess will run on both Windows and Mac operating systems where the Microsoft Office suite of applications is installed. When you download your VetAssess workbook, there are a number of ways to personalise your index page. Type in the name of your qualification and your name, and the name of your school, RTO or training facility. Down the left-hand side is a navigational menu. These buttons navigate you to important aspects within VetAssess. In the centre are the names of your students, so as you enrol them in VetAssess, their names appear here and the hyperlink takes you straight to each individual summary page. On the right-hand side are the links to the comment builder. Beside the index page name, there is a briefcase. You'll see this on every page of VetAssess, and it is your link back to this index page. Let's start walking through VetAssess. From the index page, click the Students button. This is where you type in the names of your students. I'll type in the names of 2 students. How about Bruno Grollo and Gary Simmons? Try to keep the names in alphabetical order as you enter their names. You can't sort students' names later, as their data will become confused throughout the workbook. The rest of the students' information is important for your RTO, as the students are enrolled in a program of study, and this information is often required for official records. Later in the year, students may be asked to complete an EvetMIS document. So if students are absent on the EvetMIS day, their information can be used from VetAssess to help complete the basic required information. Let's return to the index page. Let's click the Unit Selector button. This takes you to the sheet where you type in the codes and names of each unit of competency that you will be assessing for your qualification. Let's type in some names, some units of competency from the construction industry. Apply building codes and standards. Manage occupational health and safety. Select and prepare a construction contract. Let's return to the index page. Click the Competency Overview button. This takes you to the page which will eventually show the units that each student has achieved competency in. You cannot change any information here. VetAssess shows competent when each assessment task is completed for the particular unit. We return to the index page. We click the Elements Overview page. This is where you type in the names of the elements associated for each unit. There are 6 rows available for the elements of a unit. We'll type in some for the first unit. Assess and interpret relevant codes. Classify buildings. Analyse and apply a range of solutions. Apply fire protection requirements. Now the rows that aren't being used you can delete. We return to the index page. We click on the Assessment Task List button. This is where you type in the name of each of your assessment tasks. Each unit of competency is allocated 1 assessment sheet. You will see the unit code and the unit name in each relevant row. Let's give the first unit an assessment task name such as Building Compliance Inspector. In column D you can give your task code such as BNC 001. There is also a hyperlink to each assessment task sheet, so click on AT1 hyperlink. This takes you to the assessment sheet for the unit Apply Building Codes and Standards to the Construction Process for Low-Rise Building Projects. You will see in row 6 you can identify types of assessments such as observation, portfolio, project, etc. In row 7, you type the criteria that directly references the criteria from the learner or assessor guide you have previously created for this assessment, or that your RTO or school has designed. This unit might require students to undertake a portfolio of inspections and do a research task. Without going into too much detail, I'll just use the word criterion to represent what is being required for these tasks. As a student demonstrates competence in each criterion, place a lowercase a in the cell, which puts in a tick. You will notice that as ticks are put in the various cells, the number in column E reduces until the number 0 is reached. As ticks are placed in each cell, the percent completion of the unit increases until 100% is shown, and the symbol in column C will change to a tick. Let's click the Assessment Overview button. This takes you to the sheet, which gives you an overview of student progress through their various assessments. Each unit has a related assessment task page, so as the students work through their tasks and you assess their work, you will see a percentage progress indicated in each cell. Again, the data here is not able to be changed by the teacher, but captures its information from each assessment page. We return to the index page. Click on the Formative Tasks button. This is the sheet where you would list all your formative tasks and exercises suitable for your program. You select To Do from the cell drop-down menu once you have given your exercise a name. By selecting To Do for FX1 and we click the Exercise Overview Sheet tab, you will see in cell D6 the word Select appear. With the exercise overview visible, you will see that this sheet works similar to the assessment task overview, showing you an indication of the progress of each student in the cohort. Let's return to the index page. We click on the Lesson Planning button. This takes you to the page where you can do some macro planning for your course. The lesson date column is important as it populates the attendance sheet, which we will look at later. I've put in a few dates already, but you can change these now to say the 31st of January, the 1st of February, 2nd of February. In column B, you can record when you advise students they are ready to complete an assessment. In column C, you can record the date you expect the assessment to be completed. There is no hard and fast rule in determining when an assessment is due. In vocational training, you can have students advise you when they are ready to have the assessment completed. These columns are for guidance only. In columns D and E, you can identify any formative activities your students will engage in during the session. In the next column, you can jot down your lesson headings and reference to any resource material you might be using. You can also change the row height of these cells. I'll put in a few details for the lesson. We return to the index page. Click on the Attendance button. The dates you put in on the lesson plan now appear across row 8. You will see your students' names already appearing from when you entered their names in the student sheet. To activate a lesson, go to row 7 and type in a lowercase a. This will put a tick in the cell. You can then put ticks in for students being present for the lesson. Click on the hyperlink STU1. This takes you to that student's summary page. You will notice that in the attendance information section, I had activated one lesson and I had marked the student present for that session. His percent attendance is shown as 100%, but more about the student summary page later. Let's return to the index page. We navigate to the task list page and click on the hyperlink to AT1. You will notice on the assessment sheet that there is a rating column in column F. This enables you to give a rating on the student's work based on their level of self-sufficiency and reliability. If you choose to use this feature, allocate a number between 1 and 5. Now click on the student's name in row 8. This will take you to the student summary page. You will now see in the rating column the number allocated to the student for the assessment task, but associated now with the unit of competency. The average of all these ratings adds up to 1, and depending on the average rating, a short description of the student's overall effort is displayed. We return to the index page. VetAssess also has a comment bank builder. The first button takes you to detailed instructions on how to use the comment bank. You can read these in more detail at a later stage. We return to the index page. Click on the Comment Bank Statements button. These comment components are generally derived from the Australian Core Skills Framework relating to learning, language and numeracy. In column A you will see all the various categories: learning, reading, writing, oral communication and numeracy. Column B holds the indicator statements relating to each of the 5 levels for learning. Column C holds the indicator statements relating to each of the 5 levels for reading, and so on across the page. In cell A6 and below, you will see 4 further categories: strengths, encouragement, improvement, and task focus. In the relevant columns for each of these categories are some comment starters which you can edit for your own purposes. You can create as many short comments as you like down each column. We return to the index page. Click on the Comment Builder button. This takes you to the Comment Builder sheet. In column B, click on cell B3. Select one category you would like to use for a comment. Click on cell C3 and select an indicator from this category, relevant to the student's competency. You will see in cell D3 a copy of the indicator you selected. Click on cell C4 and select another category. Select another indicator. Your comment is gradually building in column D. Continue selecting categories and the relevant indicator. When you have selected all the indicators relevant for this particular comment, click the button in the column D header, and in cell D18 will be an editable text that you can copy and paste into a Word document for further editing or directly into any of the comment fields in each student's summary sheets. Many RTOs require teachers and trainers to make some comment on each student's achievement during the year. These can also be valuable for providing feedback to the student as well. We return to the index page. VetAssess does need to be saved regularly, and it is a good idea to also save the workbook to your directory on your Schools Career RTOs network for safekeeping. And this brings our VetAssess tutorial to a close.